Jeepers, gang. This is Samurai Jill here at Sci-Fi Valley Con. I am talking with none other than Grey DeLisle, the voice of Daphne, Azula, Vicky. How are you doing today?
Well, jeepers, Jill. I'm doing okay. It's weird to be next to myself, but I have to say I'm very attractive.
Right back at you. No. Well, I do want to say right off the bat, you have a panel tomorrow, 1 p.m. You're not going to want to miss that. That's Sunday. Ask you anything? No.
Yes.
Within reason. Be there or be square. It's going to be a great time.
Banished from the Fire Nation for all time, and you'll never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation.
So, 3 of my favorite roles of yours, of course, Daphne, Azula, Vicky. If they were stuck in a room together, what would happen?
Oh my goodness. Well, Daphne'd be scared out of her mind, and Vicky would get her chainsaw and try to do something to Azula, and then I'd just burn her with my lightning. I'd show her lightning.
So some of your more recent roles, you've been in The Legend of Vox Machina and Invincible, which are definitely more adult-focused animation.
Yes.
What do you think you like working in more, kid-focused or adult-centered animation?
I have to say, I think adult-centered animation, because I played Emily Elizabeth on Clifford the Big Red Dog when you guys were really little, and after doing that voice for all day, all I wanted to do was say filthy words.
I know how that is.
So as Delilah Briarwood, I get to be a little bit more adult about things. I broke the world for you.
So, of course, since I'm dressed as Daphne, I have a couple Scooby-Doo related questions.
Okay.
So Scooby-Doo is known for doing crossover episodes and movies with, cartoons like Courage the Cowardly Dog, Elvira, Kiss.
I love Elvira.
What was your favorite crossover?
I had to be Elvira because my grandmother and I used to watch that all the time when I was a little girl, and it was crazy because after my grandma died, it was my birthday, and I went to this casino, and my grandma used to love slot machines. I didn't really gamble very much, but after she died, I just got this little thing to gamble in the slot machines because I think it made me think of her.
Close to her, yeah.
So I walked into the casino and I was like, "Hey, Grandma, come on, tell me where the money is," and I saw Elvira just glowing from across the casino, and I was like, "Oh, that's it. Okay, I'm going there." And I went there and I won $3,000. And
Thank you, Grandma.
Thank you for the birthday present, Grandma. And so when I met Elvira, I told her that story, and she was so wonderful. I love her. And my son's an artist, and her son's an artist. We have so much in common. We're both redheads. Yeah.
So you've been voicing Daphne for over 20 years now.
Yes.
But Daphne has changed so much since the first iteration of Scooby-Doo in the 60s.
Yes.
She was started as just a damsel in distress, but now she's snarky, she's witty, she's confident, she took self-defense. What has that character change been like from your perspective?
When I first took the role over, I was so scared I really wanted to honor my friend who had played it before me, and she had passed away, so I wanted to make sure that I was making her proud, not disappointing the fans. But then after about 10 years, I started getting a little fat and happy and just feeling myself a little bit more. And so I think a lot of my snarkiness and my, wittiness, I guess, wonderfulness, has seeped into the character. And then when we did What's New Scooby-Doo, it got so nutty. I had a beard, I was doing stand-up comedy, I was that was really, I know people don't like the way that show looked, but it was really funny. It was so funny. You have to, and I just loved being that Daphne.
Song,
yes, we do. My kids love that song. What's New Scooby-Doo? Coming after
Is that your favorite of the theme songs?
I think I have to say, because the guy that created that, John Colton Berry, his dad was a big pop producer, and he's a music guy, so he got a really good, But my favorite iteration of the show, I have to say, is Mystery Incorporated, because that was where all the walls just started to come down.
The Twin Peaks crossover.
And I loved Twin Peaks in high school, so
yes.
I had Sherilyn Fenn on Audrey on my folder when I was in 10th grade. Yeah. Yep.
I love it. So next question. You have also done a couple live action roles. You were on another of my favorite shows, which has similar vibes to this, That 70s Show. You were the hot teacher that Fez had a crush on.
Excuse me. We're conducting an interview. What kind of insolence is this? Completely disrespectful. And talking over us. That announcer's
My mic's
banished.
pretty good, but we can cut it if we have to.
Okay.
So how did that role on That 70s Show come on?
I did some on camera when I first went to LA. I had just started trying to do voiceovers, and I was doing on camera, and I booked that role. And it was funny because I ended up quitting on camera because the voiceover just kind of took off. So, but I ended up running into the guy who played Fez Wilmer later because I played Flicker on Handy Manny, and so he was Handy Manny, and I was like, me llamo Flicker. And he was like, Miss Kaminsky. And I was like, I know, that was me. Yeah.
You voiced such a wide range of characters, video games, TV shows. I loved you in the Arkham City franchise.
Wow.
Oh, those are great games.
Thank you so much. Meow.
I've cosplayed Catwoman and Elvira, all the shows.
I bet you looked amazing.
But if there was one thing I don't think you voiced is a Disney princess. If you could voice any princess, who would it be?
I have voiced a Disney
you
princess.
have? Oh.
Yes. I was Xandra in the Three Caballeros. Yeah,
Oh my
so I'm Princess Xandra.
Oh, that's a throwback.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one in.
Well, no, it was new. It came back. It came out about 4 years ago, and they only ran it on Latin American. Well, the Three Caballeros is from the 40s,
Yes.
and then they redid it like maybe 3-4 years ago, and it only ran on the Latin American Disney Channel, but everybody loved it. They brought it to the States because my kids have been watching it nonstop. So, and then I played a lot of Disney villains. I played one of the Pixies in Onward, and I was the mom in Bolt.
That was such a good one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and I also played some fairies for Disney, like the Tinkerbell movies and stuff.
Oh, yes.
So yeah. But and I also played the good fairy in Pinocchio. Like I did the fairy godmother and stuff in the new Mickey Mouse cartoons. So done a ton of Disney, and Roxanne in House of Mouse. And anyway, so yeah, but my favorite Disney princess was Snow White. I got really close to being the new voice of that, but somebody else did, and I was happy about it. It's fine. But I used to play Snow White at kids' birthday parties, and yeah, that was fun.
Oh
yes.
my goodness! Yes.
Oh, look at all these little men. Have you washed your hands? Oh, hello. Look at all these little men. They're so beautiful.
That was really good. Oh my gosh. So Scooby-Doo, Avatar, these are a lot of people's favorite shows growing up. What was one of the first cartoons you saw as a kid that had an impact on you?
I didn't watch a ton of television when I was little because I was raised by my grandmother, and I don't know, I listened to a lot of records and stuff because she had a lot of vinyl, and I would make my own radio shows on this boombox she had, and I was into art, so my grandma she worked in a factory, and she would bring home like pipe cleaners and long like Q-tips and these like cylinders, and she would just bring them home for me to build stuff. It was like Legos and stuff. I would just glue them together with probably highly toxic chemicals, and but yeah, I was just I just didn't watch much TV. Plus there was I'm old, so there was only we didn't have cable, so there were only 3 channels anyway.
You're not that
so
old.
I'd watch a lot of, well, you'd be surprised, but we would just watch a lot of old movies and stuff, whatever was on, there wasn't really a lot of cable. I remember when HBO came out, and I was like, oh, but it was all, and I couldn't watch it anymore. I could listen to it. Maybe that's why I do voiceovers. I'm listening all the time to those things. Yeah.
So are you working on anything now? Any upcoming projects we can look to see you in or hear you in?
There's more Vox Machina coming. I'm doing more role play stuff with those guys. I'm playing Ms. Chalice. She on Cuphead. You got to turn on the charm. Yes. And
I love the game and show.
Oh gosh, and I'm still doing The Loud House on Nickelodeon, and I'm doing a new. Oh gosh, there's some things I probably shouldn't say because I don't think that's. Yeah, tons of stuff.
Don't want to break the NDAs,
yeah, I was
right?
oh shoot, I can't say that. Some new Gendy Tartakovsky stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it's exciting. Hopefully a new Avatar movie.
Yes, Azula.
I need my
Azula
redemption
needs
arc.
a spinoff.
Exactly. Exactly.
Her arc was kind of left open at the end.
know,
It was
but
unfinished.
They could just
I want
go off
more.
those comic books and be done with it.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. I want to thank you so much for your time. This was a
Thank
delight.
you. I
Don't
love
miss
it.
her panel Sunday at 1 p.m.
Yes.
Be there, be square.
Yes.